Let's begin. Audio is on. WASD and left mouse click.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda.
One thing I just realized, let me move my face. I've always been a fan of the Stanley Parable, so there we go, I've moved. Alright, beautiful. Now I think everything's perfect. Oh.
As games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator.
This is where the spawner
I want us to
is.
see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here.
Feel free to say anything else you've
It's
noticed.
2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com.
Like that it doesn't say
that's
his name.
about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Oh, it says loading November 2008. Another brilliant spot that I chose to be in. Looks like we've got an elevator. Oh! Let me move my face again. God. I chose the right spot to be. Alright, this is the perfect spot. Right here. Right here. Perfect spot. Okay, yes. I'd say so. Well, I'd say the intro to the...
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
I'm out of ammo. Whisper status machine. Wait, Whisper machine status active. Okay. Evacuate immediately. Guess I run this way.
Security code breached. Hostile alien life form inbound.
I'm gonna guess no
It
AI.
kind of looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets.
There we go.
But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
But no enemies were
I love how
eliminated.
you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
That's cute. Oh. Oh, okay. Those doors open.
Apparently this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the Whisper Machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
I do. Portals would be helpful. Hey!
You there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the Whisper Machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature.
That's
If
me.
Your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
I suppose.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
What?
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it, like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even
I'd
know.
concur.
I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Juxtaposed. This was November 2008 still, I think? The past was a bit behind her. Oh,
Yep, in this game you can
Oh.
only walk backwards.
interesting. Yeah, I was just about to make a comment that I can't move forward. Oh, this is really weird.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
I'd concur with that. Shit, I don't know where to go now. Did I miss something? Is there something I should be looking at underneath? No, that's just some oh shit. Alright, that's where I'm supposed to be going. It has a slight look. When she stops and looks, it becomes clear. Yeah, that makes sense. It's no longer Doom now. But the future is always behind her. Will she find the strength to confront it?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick.
I'd say
Okay,
so.
next one.
Loading November 2008. Wow, he designed games real quick. Oh, okay. I can't really move left or right, and when I go backwards, I hit a wall as well. It looks like an invisible wall. Why do I feel like this is gonna... You are now entering. I really hope this doesn't enter into a scream thing. I really feel like it couldn't. I'm just gonna lower the volume.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Alright, so in December.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games. I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
Like the very late stair sound. I'm sort of tempted to wonder what... Oh!
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Okay, so it takes a really long time. Let's go back to full speed. I guess it would take quite a while. Stand on her neck, staring at the bed for 3 hours. Oh. You must address and rally a group of eager press reporters. Oh.
A room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
Stranger appears. Posters and concept art.
Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Strategically to make the most money before you die. I like the name of that game. Game of only motivational quotes played one after the other while the player moves. Oh. Loading January 2009. So a month later. Ready, set, fish. I'm expecting a fish here. Alright, I can move in all directions.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
I bet you I pushed the switch. Oh, look at that! I'm so good. Oh, I used E. Uh-oh. No! Oh, I don't know if that was... Okay. Oh, is it just, I think I understand. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon.
Okay. Oh, that
We'll
was
see
pretty
it
cool.
a lot.
There's no way to go back up. Any switch? No.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve the puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright,
It's game
now
over.
I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Why is there more stuff?
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
Same day.
Aha! So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
I like this. Alright, so January, February, March, 2 months later, March 2009, we get another game. Great and Lovely Descent. We had Ready Set Fish, and a couple others. Looks like a house is where we want to go. I wonder what engine he used to create these. And
Let's
if
talk
this is
about
a
video
true
game
story.
development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development. To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source.
Okay.
Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well. The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm such a good platformer. These are Portal skills coming back to me. Yeah, it's what Half-Life 2 and other video games were used in creating. Interestingly, Coda's not using any of the physics that the Source engine gives you, I think, or the physics rules. I'm gonna fuck this up. Okay. Pro. Such a pro. Oh! That would have been a dumb mistake. There are these orange boxes over all the others. Yes. Perfect. I don't know if I landed on the right spot. I guess let's just get to the bottom. I suspect you don't die here. Oh. Oh, of course, there's a glass wall to it. Wow, this is a weird level. Why are there so many fences? It's like they're jail cells? Oh. Whoa!
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
1 hour. Yeah, I believe it's free, but if you release games on it, something along those lines, you end up paying, giving Valve a cut, maybe, or something like that. I'm not actually sure. Oh,
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
I've always liked the Stanley Parable, so I figure I'd pick this up during the
It's a
sale.
puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
For sure. So he implemented this into, yeah, okay.
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly. Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Wow, there's a bunch of different options. I'm gonna go with 2. There was an enormous prison I spent hours in. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and squishes? Yes, I did. That was literally the last thing I did before coming here. No, I don't remember having to go through any puzzle. I prefer not to tell you. After all, we've only just met. I don't trust these guys. What? But you don't understand. We are trapped here. That puzzle is our only escape. We need to get through it. You think you want to get through, but trust me, you don't. Let me describe it for you. Let me tell you all about what is over there. Alright, I'll tell you how to solve it. Trust me, you don't want to know. Oh no, but I do. We do. We need to get out of here. Do you understand? It is the most important thing in the world. We have to escape this prison. There must be an ending. Oh god damn it, I am. I promise you. Oh shit. I promise you there would be an ending. I gotta find a better. God damn it, my face is blocking. Okay. I think the top left has not been used for anything important. I should have read all that text, obviously. Sorry about that. God damn it. My stupid face. So they went to escape. I no longer can go back to them. What? There we go. Oh. I suggest you go into the puzzle time. It's not meant to be solved, but you can sit in the black. You can sit in the black space in the middle. It's all good, Epic. Just going out in that blackness for a bit. You may not like it at first, but it'll eventually it'll grow on you eventually. I don't identify who they were. I really do like the way they have the chat engine integrated.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
I wonder if like Coda added the music to the games too, or like how modified this is.
It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Light and darkness? Maybe? April. So this is, I think, a couple of months later. This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. I suspect this is not true. Nice room. Not.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person.
Wow.
In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them.
This place
Either
makes
way,
me sad.
To me, they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
Balls. Yeah, that sounds like a note I would leave.
But it's ironic, isn't it, that in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him.
Do not be afraid.
And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me.
Game is no nice.
That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing.
You feel like a hero,
I could just get to know you through your work.
So applying.
This is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
I just saw a flying penguin. Let me tell you, it was the most majestic thing I have ever seen. I don't feel like living because nothing will ever be as majestic as that. I never want to see again. If nothing, it will be again. If nothing ever will be that beautiful again. I'm crying now. I plan on ripping my eyes out. I must now go do that. I think this is the same comments system that he implemented in that previous game. In a world full of notes, one man will read all of them. This summer, you will believe lose. Why? There are too many messages in this area. I'd rather be doing literally anything other than playing this. Hey, I can type here. Why can't I type? This guy over there, that guy over there wrote much wrong. This is a lot of fucking notes. I'm sort of tempted to try to read them all, but seeing how I don't think I can, like... Oh! Okay, I see. Those are just... I see. Okay. I mean, that takes a lot of work if those actually were all messages as well, which is pretty cool in a weird way. We're running out of space. Soon we will suffocate. This is a neat idea for a game. So what was the one game that sort of copied that? Well, what the shit is this cavern? Boring. I can assure you, guarantee that there is an acorn somewhere here in this place and the sailors are looking for it. I wonder what sailors. Hey guys, just looking for someone to talk with. Aww. I refuse to believe. Butt as butt. Butt ass butt. I missed one back there? I need to go to the freaking bathroom. Which one did I miss? Oh, do you mean recognize me, please? I'm gonna guess that it was the one that I missed earlier that I got. Let me just double check. I'm a completionist, obviously. Yeah, I think I got them all. Except for that one. There's nothing here. Go back. Don't listen to that guy. That totally reminds me of that really hard game. A free T-shirt. Makes game includes door, cannot open door. Thanks. Open sesame. Door how open? Gotcha. Good, good. Glad I got it. Someday I will meet the person who made this. I help people because of the internal good feeling I get. Holy shit. New room! Oh man. Do you hear the chimes? They keep you going, don't they? I'd like very much to be desired. Oh shit. Scared of writing something? Don't want to feel judged. It's not very crowded here. You can go in here, I think. Welcome, congratulations. I don't really know where to go with this. Don't bother. A game where you leave notes and suddenly everyone's a post. It would be weird if the internet was like a 3D forum thing. This is where I get off. I failed to write anything here. You wrote something. I am compelled. Compelled to do what? Stop, turn back, proceeding further will only result in misery. Is that the case? I think that's true. Take my hand, let's jump together! Oh. Fine. Cabbage shapes are an Asian. I don't know if that's true. What is that painting? Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm good at reading these notes. It does not matter if you ever get over there. Hey, don't talk about me that way. Very good game. I like the music. I think this is not going anywhere. I really like these like grammatical errors. Next time I will do better. I need someone to talk to. This is a note? Don't listen to the other notes. That note is the true note. The one true note. I'm not safe. How are you not safe? Today I learned you cannot fall off. Trusted, ethical. I'll go all the way down and then back. I saw a person walking down there and now it won't come back. I'm guessing that's a lie. Devil Tower Star. Stair? Star. I don't know what that's from. Well done, all of you. Painting, what does it mean? Stop faking it. A 3D posting thing would like, I feel like you would just get I can't think of the name of the game. I'm drawing a complete blank today on everything. That social game. I can't think. Art. I'm too distracted by the art. Whoever made this has issues. Who are all of you? Help, I'm trying to speak. Hey guys, how's it going? Just hanging. I think it's about how things look messy from up close and perfect from far away. This is one. From up here it looks just like dots. It does look like dots. Cabbage shapes our nation. Hey. Well, we will all die someday. Stop pretending you are other people. Ah! Spoilers, it doesn't mean anything. Alright. It's about how this game is pretentious and you all suck. Devil Tower Star. What? What the fuck? Why are there like 2 Devil Tower Stars? He was himself the most horrible creature he could imagine. Maybe I'll feel real someday. Well, I'm here now. Yeah, we're all here now. There must be a reason for it, though. It's a terrible secret. He kept it well. I beat the game. You did not. More room?
At the end of this level,
Scared
we're
of
going to
writing
see the
something?
puzzle again.
Don't want to
And
feel
here,
judged.
I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it.
Escape, escape, escape,
And the
need an
puzzle
escape.
is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
You cut it up and spread it between the worlds. Almost there. I've seen everything and I've traveled the world. I have never told anyone. The whispers are a little weird. I wish there were notes in the real world. Notes in the real world would be pretty weird. Become one thing with the spiraling nonsense. One with the spiraling nonsense. Downward, keep
In
digging.
each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
Close your eyes and wish for it really bad. Almost at the end. Final notes. Does this puzzle have a solution? Oh my god, I've been here for literally an hour. What the fuck do I do? Help! Help! This doesn't make sense. The second door won't open. Shit, how do you solve it? Developer answers, please?
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before
It's
you
the
move
transition.
on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
I'm heading back to the start. Later, guys. Guys, it's not so bad in here. No solution. No answer, I think. There is no second switch. Hey, one more. How do you leave notes? Are you there? Please say something. It can be anything. I just need you to say something. Talk to me, please. Why are you having so much difficulty? Talk. Speak, 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 speak. I am speaking. May to June 2009. I guess that's how that game ends. Porn stars die too.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kinda just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
What? Oh? I like the music. So I'm gonna start off in a condo. I like the bubbles. And it leads us to a well.
See, like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
What? What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? How about a TV with surround sound? The refrigerator. Put a giant hole in the ground? Giant hole in the ground. That's not a giant hole in the ground. And what about on the wall? Let's put a huge picture of a horse. I'd really like a washing machine. 10 stoves lined up along the wall would be perfect. God damn it. They're not taking in my choices. I think we should light up this room a bit. Skylight full ceiling window. Let's open this baby up. I'm thinking 10 by 12 recessed electric 6-inch soft LED ceiling lights with fluorescent trim. We'll put live Tesla coils in each corner. Definitely live Tesla coils. Oh, come on. And a table. You need a table. Who are you? Where exactly are you doing this from? I'm pretty sure none of my choices make any difference. Tables were invented in 1935. Is that really true? I don't think that's true. Yep, they don't give a fuck. Oh. Oh.
there's a bit more to this one, but still it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
Yeah.
So okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Hello, please walk forward. This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully, take care that you remember each step. First, click on this table. Good, go over to the photo frame and click to turn it slightly. Now, turn the floor lamp in this room off, then turn it back on. Alright. Now go to the left side sofa, move it over a little. Finally, touch the shelves. That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison. Okay. Return.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this, to see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop, that particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Lamp. In a phone booth. Hello, who is this? Hey, it's me, I'm you, from after you escaped the prison. You're me? So you were trapped in this prison too?
It's a conversation. And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
Well, sometimes I'm scared I'll get out and then things will be exactly the same as before. Actually does change. I don't feel like the same person at all. Oh good. That's so nice to hear. That makes me feel really happy. Remember to enjoy being who you are. Right now, it won't last. Porn stars died too. Wait, if you're me, then did you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? Yes, I did get a call. That's how I escaped. What did they tell you? What did you have to do to get out? All they told me was to be sincere. They asked me how I felt about being... They just talked to me for a while. All they told me was to be sincere. What? That freed you? How does that work? Listen, you can't know until you're out, but I promise it works. Just be sincere. Sincere about what? That's exactly what you need to figure out in order to escape.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay.
And to be sincere,
Wouldn't that be nice?
August 2009, this is, I think, a month or so after? Maybe 2 months?
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself? To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the 2 doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
I don't see that. Guess. Clean. Well, my goodness, I'm glad as all heck you showed up. Then I might be having to clean this entire house all by myself, and right miserable that would have been. Everyone knows lonesome hands make lousy homes. Don't worry about me, a place this nice, I'll be glad to stay here all
You'll
night.
notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
I'll finish up here. In the meantime, could you please clear the table? Clear the table. Much nicer. That's the table I want to see. Now would you please run into the bedroom and make the bed? Okay. These do sort of remind me of Portal a little bit. I think it's just because of the source engine itself. While you're in there, why don't you straighten out the rug a bit? All the little details matter. Do you enjoy being a house cleaner? Well, I don't enjoy it as much as I need it. While I'm working, I feel kind of calm that rests. I feel like in the pit of my ribcage, my soul can't be soothed in any other way, it seems, which I guess is about all that matters. Oh, that and a tidy couch. Would you straighten the pillows on the sofa out here? Christ, you know, what have you done? I've been doing all the damn cleaning. Arranged the pillows. Oh dear, it looks like someone spilled the drink over by the couch. Maybe mop that up as long as you're there? Oh yeah, let me get right on that for you. Feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Make it especially cheesy. Oh, ... No. Oh, wow. Fuck you. No, stupid. Sorry, never mind. Well, you're stupid. Quick Nalgene moment, and also really more dishes to be washed. This guy and his house. It's terrible. Wash dishes. Last I checked, the tub needed a cleaning. How about you scrub it down as best as you can? What the fuck have you done? No need to be perfect. We're all just human. That is nice art assets, though. I'm getting angry, though. Are there still books scattered on the floor of the bedroom? If so, would you put them back on the shelf? Yeah, that was there. I don't see any real books. Perfect. Now then, how about you come and clear these dishes off
After
the
the
table?
intense set of prison games,
What?
this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing.
No, it doesn't.
It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Darling, let me tell you something. Whatever work you do, you have absolutely got to own it. Otherwise, it owns you. So why don't we be with the task and leave the future choices to future you. Present you once
I know that
to
Coda
smooth
really
out the
liked
rug in the
this
bedroom,
game.
believe it or not. Trust me on this
Of
one.
all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was, like, grossly happy all the time. Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Scrub the tub. Earlier when I said I had a really cheesy thought, I was going to say it occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it and it takes care of you. Then you know what? Don't know why I feel so weird saying that. I get it, that's a weird thing to say to someone you just met. Yeah, you're right, that's pretty cheesy. But there's a bit of truth in it. No, I feel like I want to dig deeper here. Anyway, so, housekeeping. Fuck you! Oh my god, let's keep doing this. Books, would you please clean up the books? Oh my god, thanks. Oh, well, you know what, you said thanks at least. Hey, I can clean through the wall. Ugh. Oh goodness, those pillars over on the couch are a real
Glad he
mix.
made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
I feel like this is, well, I mean, maybe. I'm not reading it the same way he is. Question.
But,
Do you
of
enjoy
course,
this?
it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
Oh, the walls are gone too. And the lamppost.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
So August, a month later, there's this game. Items you love
This
and
one
members only
gets a bit
prices.
goofy.
Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No! You came here to become perfect! Do wish there were voiceovers for this. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends and people in your life to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about that way in your own life? I'm already perfect. Who do you know is so well developed as a person that they make you feel disgusted with yourself? Compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful, I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. And the question is not how do we do it, but how do we do it effortlessly? This is easy. It is so easy. It is so
About
easy.
halfway through the game,
Being
the
perfect is
perspective
effortless. What?
and you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
Well, let me tell you right now, it isn't effortless, and it's not the right answer. Drinking is not hurting my life. It's easy, simple, past. Ha ha ha! Just kidding. Something is coming out of the back room. Everyone run! Run! Oh wait, hey, there's a
Felt pretty
person.
hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To
Oh, listen.
assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
So that was back in August. This is several months later. Stage.
This
right.
one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Alright, the performance is beginning. Places, please. This scene you will be playing as me. We are at a gathering of professionals. First, you'll start out leaning against this wall. Oh, that wall. Okay. Leaning. Good. Stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Hello. Hello? That's it? That's not a conversation! You need to actually converse with her. Be a human being. I'd approve of that, gamers. Do it again. I'm super scared right now. I like you. Here are all my hopes and dreams. 3. No, that's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. Oh, for some reason it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feel for the setting. There were a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent the people nearby. Now talk to her again. Wise. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. I bet you've learned to lean into the pain. What are some sacrifices you had to make? You must have worked really hard to get where you are. Wise, happy. You're messing it all up again. You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. To realize how important this was for me, I'll never get another opportunity like this again. Everything was riding on this. Successful. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. Oh, stepping back towards the light. It's been a long while since I played Portal. Whoa! Okay, yes, now this is working. This is what it was like.
The game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to
perfect,
perform
wonderful. This
and
is really
chase
wonderful.
Success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
June 2010, 5 months later. Mobius trip. To play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game. What? What's going on? Captain, what can we do? Something enormous just appeared. I can't die like this. Help, I'm blind. And then my vision suddenly went back. I don't know why. It happened to me too. Someone get help. Oh! Do anything to fix this? Everybody's blind. I have no idea where. Oh. What?
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
Okay. There's a giant door and then my vision went black. Oh. Truth. The only way to stop it is to speak something that is honest. Fuck! Where's Squarehead? This Squarehead isn't in the wall. He's blind. Well, Squarehead's in the wall. The only way to stop is to speak something that is not. I'm bursting with I can't keep making these. My work is always. I don't know what it says because a friend of mine launched a game. No, that isn't truthful. Oh my god. Son of a bitch. SS Whisper. Oh. I can't keep making these? Yes, that's it. That's the truth. I don't.
Like I said,
feel
I was
anymore?
getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
December 2010. Nearly 6 months. What is this? Where did the silence come from? Is that a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. When I try to create, I have nothing left to give my work. I'm completely out of ideas? Oh no! What's happened? Did something change? There was a machine that kept me gone and it stopped. I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me to start it again. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't far. You have to take me to it, obviously. Oops. I can do
If the
that, but
last
there's a
game
problem.
featured
It's guarded by
Coda
a
talking
difficult
explicitly
puzzle.
about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11.
If you can help me solve the puzzle,
Now,
we'll find
put
the
yourself
machine
in
deal.
my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for? Because from my perspective at the time and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Wait a minute. Oh, yes. Huh, that was so simple.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
It's fun and easy. You have to set it simple and joyous, and that you load 100% at a time. Wow. Ah, that feels wonderful. Don't worry about it, just keep talking. Keep saying that creation is easy. I'm constantly excited and enthusiastic. It's easy, it never stops being easy. Wow. Yes,
Seeing
that's
this game at
wonderful.
the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
You'll never stop creating, and you'll never stop creating, and you'll never feel bad.
This is someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
Please continue. Pain breezes effortlessly off me. Any sacrifices made for my work are worth it 100% of the time. It always pays off eventually. Jesus Christ.
I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. It never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop. But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
What time was this game released? Machine. Guard. Ma'am, glad to see you arrive safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation whenever you like. I intend to be quick. I intend to be quiet. I intend to be brutal. You did. Just be warned that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing that you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda. I don't think she was. I think she had some... Will you get to see machine? Will it be worth it? What can you tell us? How did you capture it? Where's the machine? What can you tell us?
And of course, it's the machine.
Stopped. Your work was keeping us alive. That any of us could make it through. How could we possibly go back to trusting you to do this job? How about this for a start? You need to go to the people who are out there and apologize for them. Think carefully. I know how to hurt you. I have seen the thing you fear. Alright, then I will speak to them for you. My friends! I have a troubling revelation. The machine will not apologize to us. We will find the way to live without it. We do not need its games. Let us pay it retribution. Follow me, we will destroy everything that the machine has created. Coda, I'll make sure your work dies here. Is that what you're scared of? Having to live without your precious creations? Having to deal with yourself? Oh.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking I realized that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
I like that he's just wow. Oh shit.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Put down your weapon.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.
I could have moved throughout that whole section. Just as an FYI.
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
June 2011, The Tower.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, The Tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
One thing that Coda does right is get the audio down.
This room actually has a maze in it. Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
God damn it. Ugh.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Alright. 151617. Jesus, that is the slowest thing. I feel you, Epic. It's very...
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first two challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
Interesting.
Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't. I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed.
Love the narrative.
Where did I screw up? I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you. I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable. And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, it was... I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
Stop adding lampposts to them.
And then you stopped, and I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean? I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself. That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
So, this is
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease. Solution.
Huh.
I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
I see.
Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you. if I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
I wonder what creations I'm playing now.
What now? I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna... Okay.
Barren desert. I think that I'm intuitively knowing where to go. Elevator. And back to the train station? Going upstairs. Falling and slowly bringing yourself back up. This is deep. No longer at the train station. Very long hallway with a light at the end of the tunnel. It's getting silent now. Is this the beam? From the beginning? Yes, it is. And then it's gonna bug and have you slowly rise up. Wow.
Turn back from this cave. You said, let me prove
the beginner's guide. I'm sort of curious as to what happened with this. I'm guessing, this is rather real. Wow, that was excellent. That is the beginner's guide. And the lamppost. Very fitting now. I'm gonna be looking up some things. That might be it for tonight. I might be back later. Sort of curious as to what happened after this was released. You guys have an excellent night. Though I may be back with another game. I'm not really fully sure. Ciao for now.